Christmas villains captivate us in ways that are often more profound than their heroic counterparts. They embody the very struggles we face during the festive season: stress, greed, loneliness, or even the sheer pressure to meet unattainable expectations. Take, for example, the Grinch, whose heart was 2 sizes too small. His journey of redemption mirrors the internal battles many experience during the holidays. But why do these villains resonate so deeply with audiences? And how have they become iconic symbols of Christmas storytelling? One reason is their role in amplifying the magic of transformation. Characters like Ebenezer Scrooge and the Grinch don't just wreak havoc. They embody the possibility of change. Their stories remind us that even the coldest hearts can be warmed by the Christmas spirit. This theme, universal and timeless, strikes a chord with people of all ages and backgrounds, making these villains unforgettable. But not all Christmas villains follow the path of redemption. Figures like Krampus or Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas lean into their dark sides, serving as cautionary tales or amplifiers of festive chaos. Their chilling presence contrasts with the warmth and joy of the season, creating a tension that keeps us engaged. After all, what is light without a touch of shadow to make it shine brighter? Interestingly, the enduring appeal of Christmas villains also lies in their relatability. While we may not steal Christmas like the Grinch or hoard wealth like Scrooge, we can see pieces of ourselves in their flaws. Their exaggerated misdeeds reflect the everyday struggles and imperfections that we often hide. Through their journeys or their defeats, we find solace and inspiration. Even in their darkest moments, Christmas villains often carry a hint of humor or charm that softens their menace. This delicate balance ensures that they remain accessible rather than overwhelming, a trait that endears them to both children and adults. Whether it's the bumbling schemes of Harry and Marv in Home Alone or the dramatic flair of the Burgermeister Meisterburger in Santa Claus is Comin' to Town, these characters remind us not to take life, or the holidays, too seriously. The enduring popularity of Christmas villains also owes much to the evolving cultural narratives around the holiday. As Christmas traditions blend with modern storytelling, these characters adapt, reflecting contemporary fears, desires, and values. Whether through the lens of humor, horror, or redemption, they keep the spirit of Christmas dynamic and relevant. If you've ever wondered why we keep coming back to these tales, it might be because they remind us of what Christmas is truly about: hope, connection, and the ability to rise above our own shortcomings. And in exploring these themes, we often find ourselves reflecting on how we, too, can grow and give during the festive season. Before we move on, remember to take a moment this holiday to rediscover the essence of Christmas. If you're looking for a guide to reconnect with your inner child and embrace the magic of the season, check out Rediscover the Christmas Spirit: The Magic, the Essence, and the Inner Child. A heartwarming ebook filled with inspiring stories and tips for making your holidays truly unforgettable. Christmas villains often reflect the deeper cultural and psychological dynamics of the times in which they were created. To understand their lasting appeal, we must explore their evolution, from folklore and literature to modern cinema. This journey reveals how these antagonists have shaped and been shaped by our collective understanding of the Christmas season. Take Ebenezer Scrooge, for instance. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol emerged in 1843, during the Victorian era, when industrialization was at its peak. Scrooge, with his miserly ways and disdain for human connection, personified the greed and alienation brought about by rapid economic change. Yet his transformation, guided by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and yet to come, offered hope for societal reform, a message that remains relevant today. In contrast, Krampus, the horned demonic figure from Central European folklore, embodies a much darker aspect of Christmas. Unlike Santa Claus, who rewards good children, Krampus punishes the naughty. His presence in winter traditions highlights the season's duality: joy and generosity balanced by caution and discipline. This stark contrast has made Krampus a fascinating figure for modern audiences, blending the eerie allure of folklore with the festive thrill of the season. Fast forward to the mid-20th century, and we see a shift in how Christmas villains are portrayed. With the rise of consumerism, stories like How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss offered a critique of materialism. The Grinch, who initially despises the season's commercial excess, learns that Christmas is about community and love. This story, humorous yet profound, resonates with audiences across generations, reminding us of the holiday's deeper meaning. Modern interpretations of Christmas villains often play with these established tropes, adding layers of complexity. Characters like Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians or the enigmatic Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas blur the lines between antagonist and misunderstood figure. These villains aren't purely evil. They're products of their circumstances, driven by isolation or a desire to be recognized. This nuanced portrayal reflects our growing understanding of the complexities of human behavior. Interestingly, Christmas villains also mirror the fears of their respective eras. In the 1990s, when fears of crime and home invasion were prevalent, Home Alone introduced us to Harry and Marv, the bumbling burglars who threaten Kevin's Christmas. Their slapstick misadventures serve as a cathartic release, allowing audiences to laugh at what might otherwise be a source of anxiety. Through these diverse interpretations, one thing remains constant: Christmas villains are a mirror to our society, reflecting both our aspirations and our anxieties. They remind us that the holiday season isn't just about joy. It's also about confronting challenges, embracing transformation, and finding light in the darkest corners. In the tapestry of Christmas storytelling, villains serve as essential threads that bring depth, tension, and intrigue to what might otherwise be overly saccharine tales. But beyond their narrative function, these antagonists often challenge our perceptions of the holiday itself, forcing us to confront the complexities hidden beneath the twinkling lights and cheerful carols. One compelling reason Christmas villains captivate us is their ability to embody universal struggles. Consider Scrooge again. His fear of poverty and clinging to wealth at the expense of human connection are fears that transcend generations. The Grinch, on the other hand, reflects societal tendencies to isolate ourselves from what we perceive as unworthy of our time or effort. Their flaws resonate because they are, in some ways, our own. Modern cinema takes these archetypes further, reimagining them in ways that reflect contemporary issues. For instance, The Nightmare Before Christmas challenges traditional notions of belonging and identity through its anti-hero, Jack Skellington, who isn't a villain in the strictest sense but brings chaos to Christmas through his misguided attempts to claim it as his own. His journey of self-discovery resonates with audiences who might feel similarly out of place during the holidays. Moreover, the allure of Christmas villains lies in their ability to disrupt perfection. The holiday season is often portrayed as an idealized time of joy, family, and giving, but for many, it is also a time of stress, loneliness, or unmet expectations. Villains like Krampus, with his dark mythology, tap into these underlying tensions, allowing audiences to explore them in a safe, fictional context. They provide an outlet for grappling with the less joyful aspects of the season. In many ways, the humor and charisma often associated with Christmas villains make them particularly memorable. Harry and Marv from Home Alone are prime examples. Their bumbling attempts at burglary contrast sharply with the resourceful, determined Kevin McAllister, creating comedic tension that has endeared them to audiences for decades. Similarly, the Grinch's exaggerated disdain for Christmas traditions, paired with his ultimate redemption, makes his character both relatable and iconic. Christmas villains also serve as foils to the season's heroes, enhancing their qualities by contrast. Without Scrooge's transformation, the joy and warmth of Christmas morning in A Christmas Carol would lose much of its impact. Without the Grinch's schemes, the Who's of Whoville would not shine as brightly in their unwavering Christmas spirit. These antagonists heighten the stakes, making the triumph of good all the more satisfying. But perhaps the most enduring quality of Christmas villains is their ability to spark conversations about what the holiday truly represents. Whether through their redemption arcs or their unapologetic mischief, they force us to confront the values and traditions we hold dear, challenging us to rethink and reimagine what Christmas means in our own lives. Christmas villains remind us that no story is complete without conflict. They challenge the ideals of the season, making the joy, love, and warmth of Christmas shine even brighter. Yet, their enduring appeal lies in their ability to reflect the imperfections we all share. Through their flaws, failures, and occasional redemptions, we are reminded of the power of change and the hope that defines this magical time of year. Take the Grinch, for example. His story isn't just about a heart that grows. It's about the transformative power of community and kindness. The Who's of Whoville, undeterred by the loss of their material possessions, show him that the spirit of Christmas is far more profound than he ever imagined. It's a lesson that resonates deeply, especially in today's fast-paced, consumer-driven world. Similarly, villains like Scrooge, Krampus, or even Jack Skellington confront us with the duality of the holiday season. They embody the struggles, fears, and even the darkness that Christmas often seeks to overshadow. Yet, through their stories, we find inspiration to overcome these challenges, to embrace connection, and to seek the light within ourselves and others. Modern portrayals of Christmas villains continue to evolve, adapting to the changing values and concerns of society. Whether they're critiquing consumerism, reflecting on loneliness, or exploring themes of belonging, these characters remain vital to the storytelling tradition of the holiday season. They not only entertain but also provoke thought, encouraging us to reflect on the true meaning of Christmas. As we gather around the tree, exchange gifts, or share meals with loved ones, these stories remind us of something essential. Christmas isn't about perfection. It's about embracing the messy, flawed, and beautiful journey of being human. And perhaps that's why we love these villains so much. They show us that even the coldest hearts can warm, even the darkest nights can hold light, and even the most unlikely characters can find redemption. As this holiday season unfolds, may we find inspiration in these tales, not just in their heroes, but in their villains too. After all, they teach us that growth is always possible, that kindness has transformative power, and that even the smallest gestures can make the biggest difference.